Yo,
Hello, sir.
yes, yes. Sorry, guys. This
Cherry beet in hand, or what's going on?
Nah, man. I didn't have custard, man. I can't go a day without eating custard.
That's so random.
For real?
Yeah, bro.
You know
It's
this is on audio. You're giving me a lot right now. This is now being recorded on audio, my guy. I'm trying to help you here, man.
Custard.
If this comes back and hits you in some kind of audio file within a group 2 months later, like it's a bit mad for you.
listen. I don't even care. I
Man
was like,
said daily custard.
I
custard is
appreciate
life.
the honesty. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
the honesty, man.
What kind of custard though?
Nah, nah. Strictly Devon.
Huh?
Devon.
GP Devon. Okay, alright, alright,
Yeah,
alright.
yeah, yeah. None of the Tesco brand and all them things. It's got to be the real thing.
Well, does he
Oh,
get a
if you're a
pass? Does
custard
he get a pass, Jade,
connoisseur.
with Devon?
So. I mean, Devon custard is the one, but I'm still like daily custard. Alright, do
Yeah,
your thing.
I like custard. Do you know what? I never even used to be like this, but it's my son, man. He loves custard, so I kind of got drawn in.
Oh,
Your son
But
drew you in.
yeah, man, I'm in the house now, and I'm ready to let go.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So listen. What I'm gonna try to do is, I think you lot know the 3 points, but do you lot have do you have breakdowns of players you would like to see in and out as well?
Yeah, I do. I know. Well, I know who I want in and out.
Like for each, like for defense, midfield, forward,
Yep,
kind of
I
thing.
know who I want. I know what we need. I know who I want.
All right, cool. Is that the same for you, Jade, as well? You got like a short note or like a short list of players you want to see come in or players you want to see out?
not so much in. I've got talks on who can stay and who can go.
Okay, all right, cool. So what I'm gonna do is let's do the overview, like in the 3 questions, and we save the people you want in and out until after.
Okay, cool.
Alright.
Okay. So I'm gonna start for you, Jade, since you were the first one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what were your based on the 3 points that like I gave you, as in terms of how you felt before the season started? How do you feel now the season has ended, and what do you think needs to happen going forward? Minus the players, we saw that out later on. The floor is yours.
Okay. Before the season started, I was feeling quite positive actually. Um, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how well we were gonna do, but I did think that we'd go into this thinking, all right, we've got we've got enough talent to finish top four again. That that was definite the case for me that we'd finish top four. Was I thinking we'd challenge for the title? Not necessarily, but definitely thought we'd finish top four. So I was quite looking forward to how we would do. Obviously, knowing it was going to be a completely different season with COVID and how we'd manage all of that, but I was definitely looking towards top four before the season started. Now that the season has ended, um, yeah, I feel like I feel like it didn't start well at all. So like we scraped a win at Brighton, we lost heavily at Palace and Spurs, and we just seemed to lack creativity and organisation at the back. Like we didn't even make it into the top half in the first 2 months of the season. Like, it was quite a struggle at the beginning. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. And you look here and you think, okay, back to back top four for the first time since Fergie, Europa League runners up, unbeaten in the league away from home. Like it all sounds good, and I guess it is a mark of progress, but I don't want to celebrate too much. There's only so satisfied you can ever be with almost. And like you can only paper over cracks for so long. Realistically, we're miles off sea. And that's a painful truth. But they have what 17, 18, 19 world class players, and we've got 12 or 13 decent players, but nowhere enough world class. Like, where would we be without Fernandez and Cavani this season? And looking at the back, I've not been the the biggest fan of Maguire, but like we really struggled without him. It was very clear. The games where he's injured, it was very clear that we really couldn't manage without him at the back. And you look at players like Bailly, he's been far too inconsistent, and the injuries have taken their toll on him. Like he's been there what, over 4 years now, and he's only just scraping 100 games. Like it's not enough. It's really not enough. But surprisingly, I think Luke Shaw's had a pretty good season, which I wasn't expecting. And again, I haven't always been a Luke Shaw fan. I do think he got a raw deal from Mourinho, who very publicly had no issue calling him out. But credit where credit's due, I think he had a really, really good season for us. But yeah, the centre back role is always going to be an issue. As I said, without Maguire, it looked way too shaky. I find it painful to watch Lindelof. Like he hurts my eyes. Like he truly, truly hurts my eyes. I can't deal with him. So we'll see what happens with him really. And yeah, I just think, I feel like we've just lacked creativity, as I said at the start. It's not, we're going forward, but it's very boring to watch. Like there's not anything that really makes you go, oh yeah, it's not eye catching. We've had what, 11 draws this season. 6 of those draws were 0-0. Like we're not getting there. Like there's so many times where we're getting to the edge of the box and kind of just looking at each other like, what do we do? We're waiting for someone to come up with something magical, but it's very slow at times. It's very boring. We're doing, often just going sideways, looking, hoping for someone to come up with something. But in terms of like the build-up play, where is the creativity in all of that? And I think my biggest bugbear this season has been having to go behind to wake up. Like, how are you going to challenge for anything if you have to go behind first? And it's like, oh wait, yeah, no, we're actually playing football. Like, we need to do something. Well, yeah, can we start first? Why does it have to come to, all right, second half now, or a while after this goal? Okay, now we need to play football. Why can't we just push on from the first minute? And thinking about what we need to do going into next season, obviously sort out the keeper situation. So De Gea has been a good servant to the club. He's been there for what, a decade, but yeah, his decision making at times leaves a lot to be desired. And when he has a drop in confidence, it's really clear and very damaging, I would say. Obviously, Henderson has stepped up. He's shown that he's not willing to play second fiddle anymore, which is fair, you know. And you look at it stats wise, he's only played half as many minutes as De Gea, but got a higher save percentage, conceding fewer goals per match. Like all of that, looking at it statistically, yeah, but realistically, we could end up losing both. So, I won't go into bringing anyone in, but obviously we're looking at Oblak, and we'll see what happens with that.
Okay.
Scrap the McFred partnership for the love of God, please. McTominay plays so much better without Fred. I'm not even a Fred fan either, so just get rid of that. Van der Beek looks nervous whenever he plays, but then he's not getting many minutes, so I don't know what's happening in training. I don't know what the deal is with bringing him in and sitting him on the bench, but yeah, I'd love to know the backstory to that. Daniel James, so much promise. I'm waiting to see the re-emergence of how he started last season. But yeah, so yeah, I would say that's probably my overview for now. Yeah.
Okay. We'll get into some players later, and we're gonna do it in bits. So you'll do defense wise, and then Ashley do his. But Ashley, as in terms of like your overview, um,
Yeah, what was the question?
same criteria. How did you feel before the season started? How do you feel now the season's ended? And how do you feel as in terms of what do you think it needs to be done going forward for next season?
All right, cool.
Sorry,
So
so before we get on to you,
yeah,
Jade, Ollie in, Ollie out?
Oh, so controversial so early on.
I mean, we don't have to
Um,
get deep right now. I just wanted to, you gave your kind of overview, and I just want to know how you said how you felt about some players, but you haven't mentioned the manager so much, apart from saying stuff like, why don't we start on the front foot and why do we all have to react? So, are you an Ollie in fan or
um,
Ollie out fan?
I'm patient. I'm still early in.
Ollie in, okay, all right, we'll work with that. Ashley, the
woo,
floor is yours.
the floor is mine. Woo. Okay. Right. So how did I feel before the season? Before the season, as far as I was concerned, Man United had to finish in the top four. That's my minimum expectation. I didn't have faith in the manager before the season started. I thought our recruitment process was rubbish before the season. We've allegedly chased Jadon Sancho for a whole window and ended up signing Ahmad and Palestri on the last day. The Ahmed signing wasn't until January, and Palestri came in, and we never used him. We've sent him on loan. So basically, we didn't solve that right-sided problem. Who else did we sign last summer? We signed Donny van der Beek, who I'm a fan of as a player. He's clearly got talent, but clearly the manager did not make that signing. He was a player that was given to him that he didn't want to use. He doesn't believe in him. Therefore, he's not believed in him, and that's shown in Donny's performances because the lack of belief from his manager has made him shrink when he's on the pitch. Um, so for me, beginning of the season, listen, top four. I hate to say, yeah, top four is my aim because that's not my aim as a person. But looking at that team where they are, top four was a thing. Then we get into the season and we start badly. Obviously, you keep saying obviously we had no pre-season or whatever, and I understand that. And I was listening to Andros Townsend on the radio the other day, and he was talking about the Palace game, which was our first game of the season, and it was their second, and they'd had 4 pre-season games, and he said um, they were all over us because they were just so much fitter than us at that stage. So I can accept that for those first couple of games. Then we go to the 6-1. Yeah, that was a mess. Now, I don't think Man United are as bad defensively as people say in terms of their defenders. Man United are bad defensively as a unit. So from the front to the midfield to the back four. Now, the defenders are actually good, decent defenders. Maguire is a good defender, in my opinion. Luke Shaw can be. Wan-Bissaka's good one-on-one tackling, doing his slide tackles. He's not so good positionally. I've got my issues with Wan-Bissaka. That might be something we could touch on later. I don't think we're awful. I think Lindelof's all right, isn't it? He's not terrible. He's not great. He's just not first choice if you want to be challenging for a title in the Premier League when other teams have got much better players. So as we go through this season and we see Lampard messing up at Chelsea, putting them in a bad position, we see Tottenham top of the league in November and then have absolutely collapsed. Man City didn't start doing anything until mid-December. We see Liverpool lose Van Dijk and basically lose their whole mojo for a large proportion of the season. Well, I'm not even going to bother to talk about Arsenal and them because they weren't ever at that stage in the league, but these guys fell down. Man United were in a position where they could have seriously challenged Man City for the title. I'm not saying they should have won it, but the gap shouldn't have been what it was. Man United, went through a period we didn't lose until recently for a load of games, but the game that we lost was Sheffield United. We lost one game or something in a period. We lost to Sheffield United. They were terrible all season. We drew. We've drawn this season with Fulham. We've drawn with West Brom. You know what I'm saying? We're saying how bad this Arsenal team is. Man United took 1 point off Arsenal this season. Yeah, not good enough. The manager doesn't. He thinks he's being protective of his back four by picking this McFred thing, but he's not, because I actually think it causes more confusion with them, and then we've got no creativity in it because, well, Fred couldn't pass win, like, just useless. And then because he's got the McFred, he bottles making his decisions on Pogba. So basically, if Pogba's not playing in the centre of the midfield, he feels he has to pick Pogba. So he then picks Pogba on the left. He chucks Rashford out onto the right, where everyone knows he's ineffective. And then he leaves out Greenwood. And then he's got the team in a mess there. He plays Bruno every minute he can play him. So you're in a mess. Okay? But then, at the same time, when he does pick, like in the final, he picks McTominay, he picks Drogba. Why am I saying Drogba? Pogba as his midfield two, and then you've got your best front four. So you've got your Cavani up front with Mason Greenwood right, Bruno in the middle, and Rashford on the left. That's your best front four for Man United at the moment. And then you've got Pogba and whatever there. But when you pick that, and then you look at the bench, if they don't fire, who are you bringing off that bench to make a difference in a game? No one. Because you're bringing on Fred? No. Donny van de Beek? No. You don't have a striker to bring off the bench. Do you understand? Martial, obviously he's been injured, so that's why there's no one there on the bench or whatever. But Martial this season was pathetic. So the way I feel at the end of the season now is, to be honest, how I felt at the beginning of the season. We're not good. We're not bad. We're just average. And we're going to stay average because we've got a bang average manager who's not going to take us to the next level. Yeah. The question I ask people all the time is, if Ollie was to be on the market now, and any other team in the league could have him, how many teams would take Ollie on as their manager? There's your answer as to if he should be Manchester United manager. Because I don't think there's a team in the league that would have Ollie other than Manchester United. So
saying that you have finished. I mean, you said you were beginning the season, you were hoping for top four. Same thing with Jade. You finished second.
Yeah, I think we finished. Listen, the table doesn't lie. Over the course of the season, we've been the second best team. But whilst the table doesn't lie, the table's lying, isn't it? Because, yeah, Liverpool are never going to be that bad again. Not with that squad, not with their manager. Yeah, with the players they got coming back in, look, they're making business already. Liverpool aren't going to be that bad again. Chelsea have brought in a proper manager. They got rid of their Solskjaer. Yeah, and they brought in a proper manager who's going to manage their team effectively. And you saw the change in them from when Tuchel's taken over. Look, they're in a Champions League final tonight. Yeah, so I think although we're second, we're going to slip. We're probably going to be fighting for that fourth place with Leicester again, or Arsenal if they can sort themselves out next season, or Tottenham if they get a decent manager, whatever, next season. So yeah, we're second, but we're not really second. So yeah, Ollie out.
Ollie out. So you're Ollie out, officially Ollie out.
I've always been Ollie out. I just had to shut up. You can't be shouting for a man to go when you're not losing games or whatever. But at the end of the season, you can step back, you can look at it, and you can assess from that. Yeah, is he going to take us where we want to go? The answer is no. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Within that, thank you for both of you for sharing your ideas and your club. But in the case of Solskjaer as a manager, because you're looking at him he's basically taken on his biggest job yet. Is there anything you can see in him that maybe you don't have to get rid of him if he was just to improve on certain things? So if you were in charge of him and you were told by the board, you can't sack him, what would you ask him to address? I'll go with you first since you want him out.
His bravery, and his trust in certain players. He doesn't trust in certain players. I think there's been times this season where I think he's knocked younger players' confidence because he's not trusted in them. Axel Tuanzebe, that boy can defend. Against PSG, he was brilliant. And then he keeps leaving him. He keeps leaving him out and playing Bailly, and Bailly keeps doing madness. Listen, go with Tuanzebe, man. He needs to have more trust in his players, and he needs to put the onus back on them to make the difference, rather than thinking that he's putting this blanket with the whole McFred thing. So, yeah.
Okay. And Jade, what would you say you want to see improve in terms of, not like, if you had to actually, I guess, coach Ollie himself, like what would you say to him in that respect?
I would say you've got to look at where your players are best suited. And like what you were saying, Ashley, about trying to accommodate people, it doesn't make sense. Like you've got to look at where you playing Rashford? Are you playing Greenwood? Like just, I think there's too much of. I mean, it overcomplicates the midfield, and then you struggle to look at what you need to do going forward. It doesn't make sense. You can't play Fred and McTominay together. It doesn't make sense. So stick with McTominay, stick with Pogba in the middle, and actually, and put Rashford where he needs to be. But make those decisions. Don't shy away from it. Stop trying to bring both McTominay and Fred together. It doesn't work. And I don't understand his insistence with sticking with that partnership, because then that is your core and it ruins everything else around it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, can I just come in there again on the same trust thing as well? He clearly doesn't trust his squad, because there's been times this season where you've looked at Bruno, you've looked at Rashford, yeah, and they are clearly carrying knocks or dead on their feet, and he's rolling them out there again and forcing them to play second legs of games where you're 4-0 up. Why? It makes no sense. Come on, Ollie, man, just trust them. But he clearly doesn't. So there's obviously a big problem.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You know, you're looking at people dead on their feet, screaming like, "Stop him!" Like, why are you even playing him? The game's won. What are we doing? And what kind of damage do you think your subs are gonna cause when we're 3-4-0 up? Like, if I'm a sub in that situation, I'm upset. What, you don't rate me that much that you can't take off players who are clearly shattered? Yeah. Like 3-4-0 up. Come on. You have to trust your squad, because, you know, as a player, you know, if your manager's not going to bring you in those situations, it says a lot about what he thinks about you. So as a player, that's going to knock your confidence. You can see your teammates need to come on, but he's unwilling to do that, and it's not going to make you feel good.
All right. Now to the fun bit. I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna start with Ashley and then end off with Jade. So we're gonna do it like section by section. So you'd say your defensive ideas, and then I'll go to Jade and she'd say hers, and then we go to midfield and then strikers. So in defense, of course, including the goalkeeper, who are the people you like to see in or out?
Well, Romero's going, so that's done. Lee Grant's going, that's done. De Gea and Henderson. I'm De Gea out. But I've been that way for 18 months. And I look at both of them as keepers, and I actually don't think there's much difference in the two of them as keepers at the moment. The only difference I see between De Gea and Henderson is their trajectories. One's on his way up and one's on his way down. So I'd rather keep the person with the potential to get better than the one that you've seen is best. So everything that you see from him now is just his decline. So I'm going to say De Gea goes, Henderson stays as the keeper as number one. You give him a chance if you can't get a top quality goalkeeper in. Obviously, they're all already looking like they've signed Tom Heaton to come in as well. So to get rid of De Gea, and obviously De Gea's on a stupid wage as well. So yeah, I'm De Gea gone. And then with regards to the defenders, was it defenders as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, for the life of me, I don't understand Eric Bailly getting a new contract. Right? I'm not saying he's an awful player or whatever, but he's not on the pitch enough. Just write that off. But he's staying, obviously. Well, Wan-Bissaka stays, but he needs someone to come in as to give him some competition because we don't have a backup right back. I'm sorry, Brandon Williams does not count. He's not good. Lindelof, I don't mind him staying, but he's not a first choice centre back for me. I'm happy with Maguire. I know there's running jokes on Maguire because he is slow. He did cost far too much, and he should never have cost. The problem with Maguire is he's not Virgil van Dijk. So for people to respect Maguire, due to his price tag, etc., he had to come in and be better than Virgil van Dijk. We all knew he was never going to be better than Virgil van Dijk. But Maguire is a good defender, okay? He does his job. He's not blessed with pace, but he does do a good job at centre back. He needs
Some people would say the problem with Maguire is that we all know he should be in jail.
Well, that's another issue, but you know what I'm saying. I'm here to talk football. I ain't talking about men's holidays, yeah. So we move, innit? But yeah, I'm cool with Maguire. I'm a fan of Axel Tuanzebe myself. I think there's a player in there. I thought that for a good amount of years, and then I'm happy with Luke Shaw. And I'm happy with Tellez as his backup as well. So, yeah, it's the centre backs and another right back that I think the areas that need looking at.
And who would you like to see come in then?
Who would I like to see come in?
Yeah, or you would at least like your club to look at them, consider them.
Okay, so there's all this talk about Rafa Varane. Do I want Varane? Is he another person that's on his way down? Possibly. But I would take that risk on Varane. But I do like Torres. I really like him, and I thought he was brilliant on Wednesday. So yeah, I'm all in on Pau Torres.
Pau Torres from Villarreal.
Yeah, I'm all in on that. So yeah, he would be my choice as a centre back. The right back is the tricky one. I've heard a few names. You've got your Max Aarons, your Kieran Trippiers.
Hector Bellerin.
No, thank you. Yeah, to be honest, I think for Man United, Trippier wouldn't be a bad signing because the games he would play would be the games where I'm expecting to not be defending as much. So, you know, when you're on the attack and he's a better attacking fullback than Wan-Bissaka is. Wan-Bissaka is not yet a good attacking fullback. So that's why I would look at a Trippier. I'm not saying I want Kieran Trippier, but I could understand it if those were the sort of games he was playing. But other than that, I'd need to give it a lot more thought on a right back. But yeah, but I can't see Trippier leaving. He looks happy at Madrid. And yeah, I don't think he'd leave anyway. But yeah.
Doesn't that say something that you can't... Okay, I mean, doesn't it say something about Man United? In your opinion, does it say something about Man United? If you're saying, as a fan, you would prefer maybe the club consider a person like Trippier, who is English and playing at Atletico Madrid, La Liga champions, and we have to consider whether he might even think about leaving Atletico Madrid to come to play for Manchester United. Doesn't that say something?
Yeah, it says that Man United aren't very good, and he's just won a league title in Spain with a team that's not Real Madrid or Barcelona. I'd be happy there too.
All right. Okay. Defense, Jade. Floor is yours.
Yeah, very, very similar actually. I do think De Gea should go. As I said before, he's been there for a decade. He's been a great servant to the club, but he is on the way out, and Henderson's not going to be happy being second fiddle anymore. He's shown that he can do a good job for us, and I do think that we need to give him that chance and to help him to develop even further, because I don't think De Gea is going to get any better. So if it's a choice of keeping one or the other, I do think that we need to look towards the future. And yeah, it wouldn't cause any harm slashing that wage bill either. Getting rid of the hair. So I, yeah, I'm the hair out. Sorry, have been a long fan, but he's got to go. In terms of defenders, yeah, the right back position is a huge problem in the sense that there isn't enough competition for Wan-Bissaka. Yes, Williams can play there, but I don't really feel that he's that effective. And so I wouldn't necessarily see him as that natural backup for Wan-Bissaka to give him that challenge. So I do think that we do need to bring in someone who you're actually competing with for a place, not okay, yeah, you need to rest him a little bit so you can bring him on as a sub or whatever. Like, no, someone who's going to make you work hard in training for that starting position, because he doesn't have that competition right now. In terms of left back, as I said before, I think Shaw has had a great season for us. I've been quite happy with how he's played. And Tellez, I think, is good competition for him for that position. I do think it's really helped Shaw to step up his game this season. So yeah, happy with that. But not sure where that leaves Williams. As I said, he can play both, but I don't think that he's necessarily backup for right or competition for the right. In terms of...
Sorry, go on.
Go on.
No, you said at the start of this, you said very similar to what like Ashley said. So I just want to know, are you double down on him asking for Trippier?
Do you know what? That it could work.
Holy shit.
Could work. But
Can I just say I never asked for
argument.
Trippier,
Yeah, there is that, but that that argument
Trippier.
remains, though. That argument remains, as in bearing in mind what he's just done. Are you going to want to come to United? Who it's like we're the almost this season. So yeah, we have a great club name, but that's only going to carry so much weight. And if I was him, would I want to move? No. I'd be quite happy where I am. So
are you saying?
Get him, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen.
Oh, so you're saying that you would? Are you saying that you would like to consider the option, but you feel he won't come because he's in a better situation?
I'm saying if the option was presented, yeah, but I don't think he would come though. I think he is in a better situation.
Okay, if you were Trippier, would you come to Man United?
No, I would stay where I am.
What is happening
I'm being blatantly honest. I would stay where I am. Like, think about it on paper. Like, what? Why am I moving?
We are actually
Why am I
talking about
leaving?
Kieran
Why am I
Trippier.
leaving a good thing? Yeah, I
I need a
know.
reality check. I
Okay.
need a reality
No,
check
all
on
right. No, 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 no,
are
no,
we
no.
actually talking about
It doesn't.
Kieran
Yes, we're
Trippier?
talking. Yes, we're talking about Trippier. But I'm saying, look at the
Exactly.
situation that he's in. Why is he? Why is he going to up sticks? Other than coming back to England, like, why is he going to up sticks?
I understand. I understand. I mean, I'll let you get back to it. Sorry for interrupting. I needed a
No,
reality
it's
check.
cool.
I mean, since we're talking about Trippier, would you maybe be interested in I don't know, Hector Bellerin?
No.
No, no,
No. No.
no. All right.
Not
I'm
at
just checking.
all.
I'm just checking. Because talks about
Like
Trippier,
Trippier
talks
might
about
have
trying
been
to
a bit.
prize Trippier from Atletico. It makes me think we're in the ballpark. I
Nah,
might as well
nah, nah,
mention
nah, 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 nah,
Bellerin.
nah,
You
nah, nah,
know,
nah, 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 nah,
he's a
nah,
fashionable
nah.
guy. You know, he could bring a lot
Things
to
aren't
your
that bad.
profile. All right,
Okay,
just
he
checking.
could keep his modelling over there, innit? That has nothing to do with defense now. Stay where
Hey,
you are.
Pogba models. I mean, come on. I mean, you saw the advert. I mean,
Pogba's
maybe.
a special character in one, so
All right.
yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Please continue. Defense. You said so. Is
Um,
that you were talking about right back, right? So Trippier. What about left back? You happy with what's his
yeah, yeah,
name?
yeah. No, I've
Sure.
spoken on that. Yeah, I'm good with Shaw. I think he's had a great season. As I said, Tellez has been good competition for him. I think it's helped him to step up his game this season. So I'm alright with left
If I
back,
were
to
to
be
tell
fair.
you, if I were to tell you, I'm just throwing it out. I was going to ask Ashley, so I'll ask you this. Ashley, you can chime in if you would like to. If I were to tell you, Luke Shaw has probably had probably one of his best seasons, full seasons.
Hmm.
Arguably his first good full season for United. Arguably.
Hmm.
If I were to say, sell my man now, sell my man right now, and save yourself a lot of heartache and get someone better, someone fitting of the badge of Manchester United, what say you?
No, I'm keeping him.
Oh, I
You're
say keep
keeping him.
him. See,
All right.
yeah.
It is
I'm
his first
keeping
full
him.
season. Am I incorrect in saying this is his first full season performing for you? How long has he been at you at Man United
I
for?
think he came, was it 2014, 2015? I think,
All right
or
then.
maybe he
Oh no,
broke his
yeah.
leg in 2015. I'm not sure, but yeah,
It's been
it's
a
been a
long time,
while.
Yeah, it's
and
been a
this is
good
his
few years,
first
yeah.
full season performing for you.
Okay, but then we need to look at so what was going on before in terms of picking up all those injuries. If he's shown this season that he can stay fit and do well, I
Well, he
don't
won't.
think now is the time to just get rid of him.
Well, he won't only picking up injuries. I mean, a few, you know, a few
Yeah,
meals here and
okay.
there. I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pictures are
but
there.
if
The pictures are there.
the pictures weren't very flattering, but
One or two
you
festivals or
know.
something, he was picking up something. The pictures are there. The pictures are there.
Yeah, but he's starting. He's playing well. He's obviously hitting the weight room and not Greg so much, and
All right. To,
he's
to,
doing
to
all
be
right.
fair to him, yeah, this is his first season where I'd say he's reached a level where he was performing well. But
Exactly.
in the
Yeah.
last three
I agree.
seasons,
Hmm.
he's played 29, 24, and then this season 32 of the
Okay.
Premier League games. So his fitness hasn't been that bad in those last three seasons. Okay. It was the seasons before where he played 11, 11, 5, and 16.
All right.
So yeah,
So how many
his
seasons is that altogether? 6?
too many. One,
All
two,
right.
three, four, 5, 7.
Shock to the
Bloody
nest.
hell.
So if I tell you, sell my man now, how old is he? You seem like you have a laptop right in front of your face. So how old is he?
He's 25. He'll be 26 at the start of next season. I'm not selling him.
You're not
No, keep
selling
him.
him. You're gonna
I'm
wait.
not.
You're gonna wait. You're gonna
No,
wait.
I'm not waiting. I'm trusting in his ability. I'm
Trust in his
trusting in him to
ability.
give us four good years for the next
Exactly.
4 seasons.
Even
I
though
believe.
up to now he's given you one good season in 7.
Yeah, but his good season in 7 is his last season. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like he gave us a good season 5 years ago and he's been rubbish since. I said last year to sell him and get another left back in. That's why I was all in for the Tellers thing. But
Mm-hmm.
he's given us a brilliant season this season. Therefore,
Okay.
I'm going to trust him and believe in him going forward. So you're not
Okay.
getting me to sell Luke
Okay.
Shaw. So
Okay.
move on to your next question.
When is his contract run out? His current contract.
Uh, I don't know, but I think there was talks of him signing a new one recently.
So he has earned an extension because of this one season, is what you're trying to tell me.
Yes, he has.
Yeah,
Wow,
yes.
wowie! If you said if Olas Gunnar Solskjaer leaves Man United, what club he goes to? Where does he manage? If Luke Shaw leaves United, who does he go to?
People would sign Luke Shaw, man.
Yeah.
People would sign Luke Shaw. Spurs would bite our hands off for Luke Shaw.
You really believe that?
Yes,
Over regular.
bro. To have him in their squad, yes. They've
Oh, to
got
have
Yeah.
they
no, I mean to start. Let's be
to
fair. To
start
start, where does he leave and
based on this
start?
season. Based on this season, he starts for Spurs.
He starts to Spurs. You think Spurs would sign him for this one season he's shown when they have a much younger player who's actually has the capacity? Like I don't understand. Are you serious?
Listen, there's all right. Let's take Spurs out of